Good morning. Here we are in El Salvador again. We're turning off the road that goes from San Salvador to Sonsonate here. We're going to turn off on a road. It's about 45 minutes from the city. It's going to take us up by the Lake Coatepeque. And this is a lovely area. It's actually a volcanic lake in between the mountains. In El Salvador. Very beautiful, picturesque. We have a great day today. The sun is out. You can see all the greenery. Everything is green from all the rain that's typical for this time of the year. In Central America, this part of El Salvador is very flat as opposed to the area where we come in on the Pan American Highway, which has got a lot of curves. But we're going to be going up in those mountains up there that right up in front of us here. So once we get up in those mountains, we're going to start doing some curving, getting around, and it won't take too long to get up there. You're going to see a lot of trucks on the way here that are carrying agricultural items. Okay, here we are, kind of up in the curvy area with the mountains that we had seen earlier. And this is a good road. I think a lot of tourists come up here. So people from San Salvador, we're going to see a lot of vacation houses, little hotels right around the side of the lake. And it's a very, very picturesque area up here. Little houses, little small areas up here, villages on the way. You're going to probably see some coffee, maybe some cane on the side of the road here, sugar cane, and just enjoy the trip here. Okay, before going down to the lake, I actually stopped off at a little place where they had some roadside stands and people selling food, some tourist items. And I spoke with a man that had a nice little store there who was selling some ceramic, local ceramic items, very colorful. I'll show you a little bit of the interview with him. It was pretty neat. Limpio.
Está limpio.
Está muy bonito acá.
Sí.
Y trae sus lanchas para andar
que quiera
en
andar
esquí.
Correcto, y si no, alquilan también.
Okay.
Sí, hay varios lugares donde alquilan, más que todo en restaurantes.
¿Y usted está aquí todos los días o solo fin de semana?
No, todos los días estamos acá.
Sí, viene gente a buscar
Artesanía.
artesanía
Sí,
local.
gracias a Dios, sí.
¿Sí?
Sí,
Pero vienen de San Salvador,
de diferentes lugares del país.
¿Sí?
Sí, de diferentes lugares.
Ok. Está súper bonito. Son hechos a mano aquí en El Salvador, todo esto.
Correcto, en Hilo Vasco. Hilo Vasco, Cabañas.
Hilo Vasco Cabañas, es un pueblo
Es un pueblo, es una
donde
ciudad.
hacen esos cerámicos.
Correcto. Y otras, entre otras artesanías que me las hacen en Apopa y otras en Nahuizalco.
Apopa está nomás afuera de San Salvador.
Zona norte de San Salvador.
Sí. Okay.
Y Nahuizalco.
¿Y cuánto tiempo tiene de vivir acá?
De vivir 33 años.
33 años.
Correcto. Y ya
Usted no lleva mucho más de 33.
de
¿Cuántos años tiene usted?
33 tengo.
Toda
Sí.
la vida está aquí.
Correcto. Y de tener el negocio 2 años ya.
Ya, ok.
2 años funcionando.
¿Y es una concesión que da la municipalidad acá o usted?
No, ya. Esa
Usted
cosa es
puso.
emprendedor de uno mismo. Ajá.
Ok. ¿Y le va bien?
Gracias a Dios.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Tiene familia que le ayuda o...?
No, prácticamente yo mantengo a mi esposa y mis 3 niños y gracias a Dios sale para ir subsistiendo, ¿verdad?
Sí. Ok. Bueno, muchas gracias.
Ya sabe.
Gracias, le agradezco la
Bendiciones.
vista y la información.
Ya sabe que le vaya.
Gracias. Okay, the gentleman has 33 years living here. And 2 years ago, he put this little business. There's Monsignor Romero ahí, the martyr. He's a saint now. And the colors on these ceramics are so lively, bright. And they're made in, he said they're made in some little towns around El Salvador. Apopa is one of them outside of El Salvador, San Salvador. And he's been doing this for 2 years with the help of his wife and young child. And said it's going well. People come out here and buy some ceramic items. This is from the other side of the lake. Basically just a lot of restaurants, hotels. You have to come down off that road that I was on and then get on a dirt road and kind of winds around here, but it's very pretty. Okay, we are now on a small road here that is actually down on the side of the lake, Coatepeque, where we saw from where we were up high. We're looking over toward where we saw the houses, the little village, the little villages, and this area is pretty much, you know, restaurants. You can't really get down to the very side of the lake unless you want to go into one of the restaurants or the hotels, because all the area there right on the lakefront is of course developed, pretty much developed for the tourist industry. Little simple road here. Like I said, a lot of there are some nice houses. You know, some people have some pretty nice houses there, and you know, selling items for water sports and things like that. The gentleman who I talked to, who had the ceramic sale up there, says, you know, the water is very clean. They rent boats for skiing, jet skiing, water skiing. So, you know, it's a nice trip, I guess, from San Salvador. It's probably about an hour and 15 minutes to get to this little lake. So, you know, the wealthy people have nice houses. Other people rent. I saw Airbnb has some places here, so if you were coming to El Salvador on business, you wanted to come here for a nice weekend, you know, hotels, Airbnb, whatever, rentals. I'm sure you can rent a boat, a little motorboat or whatever to rent, just to go around the lake if you want. Go to the other side. On the other side, I was told there's some nice places as well. This road's very narrow, so you got to be careful with the cars. There's really not a whole lot of space going through here. So we're kind of getting to the entrance where this road starts, and you can see the closer you get, the more abundant the sales are. You know, food, drinks, things for water sports, you know, bathing suits, flip-flops, whatever. But it was a beautiful day. You know, the day was just perfect. It was hot, you know, Salvador. This is kind of a tropical area here anyway, but it wasn't too bad. And all in all, like I said, it's a nice place to come visit and spend a few hours or a day or a weekend or however time you have. So consider Lake Coatepeque. Okay, we're coming up on the border now from the Salvador side, going into Guatemala, and this is called Chinamas. So we're going to go through a short immigration process. I have to show my passport. I'm an American citizen, so as it should be. I had to briefly show it when I went in, and it's a little bit more getting out, but again, this process has been greatly simplified in the past years. If you're bringing in a vehicle, basically they don't do anything when you come in. You have to go through this long process where they have to check the number of the motor of the chassis, inspections for this, inspections for that. Basically, it's very easy. Sometimes you get delayed if there's a bus that comes in at the same time that you're there and 30 people get off the bus and need to check their passports. But now it's just a quick, they make sure that you stayed the time I guess you were going to stay. There's no process, nothing to pay. You know, there's people that always ask you to, if you want them to help you to get your passport stamped. And I guess a lot of people that don't speak Spanish, maybe they do that, but I really don't need it. I just go in there and get them to look at it. They do look at the papers of the vehicle, and they give you just a little note to take to the other side. So you're going to see here, the gentleman here in front of me is looking at my passport, and the guy to my right here is asking me a couple questions if I'm going to have lunch in Guatemala. Probably not until I get home, until I get to the city anyway. So it's pretty easy, not really too much. Like I said, this is one of the areas where you get across the border. It's the closest one from Guatemala City, Chinamas it's called, on the Salvadorian side. About to cross the bridge here that goes into Guatemala. You probably can't see it, but there's a river that this bridge goes over. So with the helmet cam, I really can't look down too much. I don't want to drive off the bridge either. So you get across there, there's a sign up there in front that says, welcome. There you go, you got a quick view of the water down there. Since this is the rainy season, the river's pretty abundant with water. Sometimes you'll see people down there swimming, washing clothes, washing them on the rocks, as they say. So we're going to go across here. There's the sign, welcome to Guatemala, have a happy trip. And it's, like I said, it probably all told to get in through the border there from Salvador, get across. There weren't many people there today. Was probably 15 minutes. We're now in Guatemala. Sometimes they have sales along the side of these roads here. I think on Wednesday they have a market day or something, and people are selling. It's very hectic on those days. I don't like to come on Wednesdays through here. I've done this trip many, many times. I've done it in a bus. I've done it in a car. And like I said, it's been very simplified because before, if you came through here as an American, you'd have to leave and stay out for 3 days. You couldn't come back for 3 days' time, and one day I didn't have the visa to get into Salvador, so I got out and couldn't get back into Guatemala. That was a very sad day. I didn't know what I was going to do. Finally got them to nullify the exit from Guatemala so I could get back in to Guatemala. So basically, we're going to be traveling along now up the road to back toward Guatemala City. It's a very easy road to travel. Basically, we're about an hour and a half now from Guatemala City. And it's a pretty easy trip to travel on in car, in vehicle. The bus takes a little bit longer. but the plane, you know, since you have to get to the airport 2 hours before, the airport in El Salvador is about an hour or so from the city, so practically it's about the same time to do it overland as taking a trip. And I think a lot of people now, business executives, they have nice buses with movies, air conditioning, Wi-Fi in the bus. So you really don't need to, you know, you can do your work on the bus or whatever. So anyway, very good trip. And again, thank you for spending some time here with me today. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Put a subscribe. You can subscribe to this channel if you would, please. And also there's a little bell to the right-hand side. If you activate that, it'll notify you when there's future videos on YouTube. Thank you again.